Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. This is a short clip from Project Veritas, their YouTube channel, when Jim Acosta, remember that idiot? Oh, where the hell has he been? He wrote his book and sold about 100 copies. I think 20 of them were bought by relatives. And you remember him from the Trump days. He was the White House correspondent. Well, we haven't heard much about him lately. He's probably in charge of taking down the set for CNN Plus since they went down to crapper. Over $100 million plus just flushed down the toilet. Interesting. So here he is popping up at a civil hearing about Marjorie Taylor Greene. And they're trying to disqualify her under the 14th Amendment, one of the most obscure bullshit things I've ever seen, concerning she was an insurrectionist on January 6th and the follow-up things she said and did concerning the January 6th riot. Now, let's not kid ourselves. It was a riot, and people did some dumb things. They didn't kill anybody. They didn't carry any weapons. I think one guy had a crowbar. And those were people that were a little shady. We weren't sure if they were plants, but I don't want to go too much in the weeds on that. This is typical Acosta. Totally unprepared, bumbling, fumbling. And it just looked like an ass in general, because that's what he is. Now, when I was in junior high school, they call it middle school now, we had a mock thing for history, a labor management dispute. There was a strike, and I was picked to be the reporter. I was a better reporter for that mock labor dispute in junior high school than he was as a so-called nationally syndicated reporter for a major news network. It's really fascinating. Let's listen.
Jim Acosta from CNN tries to obtain comment from Marjorie Taylor Greene on the street in Project Veritas fashion, but fails miserably.
Answers. Did you send a text asking for the president to declare martial law? Did you do that?
I don't recall that.
So Acosta confronts Marjorie Taylor Greene on part of her text.
Now, see, that's part of the text. That's what they call a lie of omission. I guess this was on Locals or something. In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save a republic is for Trump to call for martial law. All she said was several members in private chat. But then he blacked out the rest of it. Let's continue.
Text message. In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law.
Have you read the text message that you're referring to?
I did.
Because it actually says if you...
It was misspelled, but it seemed to say
actually
that
it says
for martial law.
if you read it correctly, Jim, your problem is you're lying again right now.
But he omits the latter part of her text message.
Yeah, which is, I don't know on those things. I just wanted you to tell him, blah, blah, blah. I can't say too much because this is YouTube. Try to declassify as much as you can so we can go after Biden and anyone, and then it cuts it off there. She's not calling for it. She's just saying members had mentioned it. Let's listen on.
Where she says, I don't know on those things. I just wanted you to tell them. And she calls him out on it.
It says, I do not know on those things. That's what that text message actually says.
Well,
No, why don't you be honest?
Why even bring it up?
Why don't you be
bring
honest?
up? I don't recall.
Quote the supposed text message. Quote it.
So when you're doing these things, you usually want to have the material like printed out, or at least don't doctor or deceptively.
Yeah, but such damning evidence of her involvement in the insurrection, you think you would have it printed on a piece of paper, wouldn't you? But you can't, because you have to show the rest of the text as well. And you can't do that because that would be honest. That's a lie of omission. We'll watch him fumbling around for a while. This is interesting.
Edit the thing that you're quoting. Well, Jim Acosta failed to do both of those things. So he stops, take out his grandmother's reading glasses, and proceeds to sort of fumble and bumble and quote this text message.
Yeah.
My question is,
read it out loud.
even...
What does it actually say?
Okay.
What is the text message? Read the whole thing.
Let's look at it. Okay.
Yeah, let's read it.
But you're saying you don't recall it.
Yep.
Now he's deflecting. Now you say you don't recall it. She didn't say that, though.
I don't know if that's my text message or not, but if you want to talk about a text message, read the text message.
Hang on a second. In our private chat with only members, several are saying the only way to save our republic is for Trump to call for martial law. Martial was not spelled.
Don't keep going with the text message.
I don't know on those things.
Wait,
I just wanted you to tell him.
I don't know on those things. Is that what that says?
Then Acosta calls her defensive after he misrepresented the message and she called him out for it.
Read the actual words. It tells another story. It
Right,
tells
but
the
you're
truth.
being awfully defensive.
Have a good one, Jim.
You're being awful defensive. Well, yeah, because you're confronting her with something she didn't say or do. It's what you always do. And every time you guys are called to account with the truth, you always fumble and mumble. The thing is, Jim, you're not on a CNN set now. You've got to say the truth. You've got to tell the whole story because you got the person in front of you. Where in a CNN set, you get to lie by omission. It's just fascinating. This case shouldn't go anywhere. It's an absolute nonsense bullshit case. Make no mistake about this. This isn't about Marjorie Taylor Greene or other congressional members that will be disqualified under the 14th Amendment as causing insurrection to the United States. What they're really after is President Trump. Because if they can set a precedent in court, they can use that to go after Trump if he runs in 2024. Make no mistake, that's what this is about. Let's listen on.
Yeah, when you want to be honest and you actually want to talk about me as a real person and present me fairly, then I'll talk to you. But until then, I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Let me ask you this.
No, I don't want to. You don't know. We're done. Stop harassing me. Stop harassing me.
Now, to be fair, she does accuse him of harassment. This is not harassment, a journalist doing this. But he just comes off unprepared, blundering, completely unprofessional. Jim Acosta, you got to come to Project Veritas training to figure out how to do this, man. Do better, Jim Acosta.
Yes, Jim Acosta, do better. But you can't because you don't know how. It doesn't fit your agenda. Jim, where you been the last few weeks and months? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe they got a janitorial job they're waiting for at the CNN building. Like I said, maybe you were taking down the set from CNN Plus after they spent over $100 million and then Discovery pulled the plug. They pulled it actually early. They're going to do it at the end of April, but they decided to do 2 days early just to get the hell out of Dodge, at least for that project. So there's Jim. It's like he's lost some weight. Anyway, these guys don't change. But they know they're losing. He looks like a bumbling, fumbling buffoon because that's what he is. That's what he is. When he doesn't control the narrative slips away. Make no mistake, they're after Donald Trump. Now, whether Trump runs again or not is immaterial. They are the enemy of the Republic. They truly are. Trying to disqualify somebody because you don't like their politics is what third world countries do. I never thought I'd see the day when the United States was just coming up borderline on becoming a third world country politically. I never thought I'd see the day. There's always been infighting and nastiness in politics. But this is a whole new level. And the whole thing is at stake. The entire republic is at stake. That part they got right. But the danger of the republic is not Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it's not Donald Trump. The republic may fall because of guys like Acosta and others in the media. And now with Elon Musk owning Twitter, they're freaking out like their hair is on fire. We're going to see what happens. This is a big turning point in U.S. history. Let's just pray that it goes the right way. Until next time, goodbye and good luck.